Hey everyone, welcome back to Learn English with Podcast. I'm Nikki, and I'm so happy to be here with you again.
And I'm Tony. Hello everyone. It's great to have you listening. Today, we're going to talk about something super important for all English learners. How to be more disciplined when learning English.
Yes, discipline. That's a big word, right? But don't worry. It just means doing the things you need to do, even when you don't really want to. It's like going to the gym when you feel lazy, or studying English when you'd rather be watching your favorite series.
Exactly. I think we all know that feeling. Sometimes I sit in front of my notebook, open my English book, and after 2 minutes I'm on YouTube watching funny videos of dogs in costumes.
Oh, Tony, that sounds too familiar. I think that happens to everyone. But discipline is what helps us stay focused. It's not about being perfect. It's about doing small things every day.
Right. For example, one thing that really helped me was creating a small study routine. I always study English at the same time. Just 20 minutes after breakfast. I don't check my phone, I don't open social media, I just focus on learning. And because it's short, I don't feel tired or bored.
That's a really good tip. Having a routine makes a big difference. For me, I like to mix English with my daily activities. I listen to English music while I'm cooking, or I put English subtitles on my favorite shows. Sometimes I even talk to myself in English when I'm alone, like, "Okay, Nikki, now we're going to clean the kitchen."
That's great. Talking to yourself is actually one of the best ways to practice speaking. You don't need anyone else, and you can practice pronunciation and vocabulary.
Exactly. And it helps you think in English. When I started doing that, I noticed that words came to my mind faster when I was talking to other people. It was like training my brain to switch to English automatically.
That's a really good point. I think many people think they need hours to study, but you don't. You can learn a lot with small, regular habits. For example, if you learn just 5 new words every day, in 1 year you'll know more than 1,800 words. That's a lot.
Wow, I never thought of that. It's true. Small steps really work. Sometimes people start very motivated, study a lot for 2 weeks, and then stop because they feel tired. But if you study a little every day, it's easier to continue.
Yes, I like to use something I call the 10-minute rule. When I don't feel like studying, I tell myself, "Okay, Tony, just study for 10 minutes. Usually after 10 minutes, I start enjoying it and I continue. But even if I don't, at least I did something.
That's such a good idea. I do something similar. I also reward myself. Like, if I study for 20 minutes, I can watch 1 episode of my favorite show. It keeps me motivated.
That's smart. Rewards really work. You can also make studying fun. You can play word games, watch YouTube videos in English, or talk to friends online. It doesn't have to be boring.
Totally. I also keep a small notebook where I write new words or phrases I like. Sometimes I read it before bed, and I try to make sentences with those words. It's a great way to remember what you learn.
That's discipline right there. Writing things down helps your brain remember better. And another tip, don't wait for perfect conditions to study. You don't need silence, a big desk, and a cup of coffee. You can study on the bus, while walking, or even when brushing your teeth. Maybe listen to a podcast like ours.
Yes, that's right. Podcasts are great for learning. You can listen anywhere, anytime. And it's a fun way to improve your listening and vocabulary.
So, as you can see, being disciplined is not about being strict or serious. It's about being smart and finding ways to include English in your daily life.
Exactly. And today, we're going to hear from some people who found their own ways to be disciplined while learning English. They'll share their stories, what helped them, and even some funny experiences.
Yeah, we're going to learn a lot from them. So, get ready, we have some really cool guests today.
Stay with us, keep your notebook ready, and maybe you'll find a new idea to make your English learning easier and more consistent.
Alright, let's take a short break, and when we come back, we'll meet our first guest who's going to tell us how she became more disciplined learning English.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to Learn English with Podcast, and today's topic is one that really matters for everyone learning English. How to be more disciplined.
That's right. We just shared some of our own tips, but now it's time to hear from someone who knows this topic really well. Our first guest today is an English teacher and a learning coach who helps students stay motivated and consistent. Please welcome Teacher Maria.
Hi, Maria. Welcome to the podcast. We're super happy to have you here. How are you doing today?
Hi, Nikki and Tony. I'm doing great. Thank you. I'm really excited to be here and to talk about this topic because discipline is one of the biggest challenges my students face when learning English.
I totally believe that. Even for us teachers, staying disciplined isn't always easy. So, Maria, could you start by telling our listeners a little bit about what discipline really means in the context of learning a language?
Of course. Many people think discipline is about being strict or studying for hours and hours, but that's not true. Discipline simply means making learning a regular part of your day. It's about creating a small habit that you repeat again and again until it becomes natural.
That's such a good way to explain it. I like that idea. Discipline as a habit, not punishment. Sometimes people feel bad when they don't study and then they stop completely.
Exactly. And that's one of the first mistakes. When we miss one day, it's not a failure. It's just life. The important thing is to come back the next day. I always tell my students, don't focus on being perfect. Focus on being constant.
I love that word constant. It sounds softer than disciplined, but it's basically the same idea.
Yes, Tony. It's about consistency. Even 5 or 10 minutes every day can make a huge difference over time. Imagine reading one short article every morning. In 1 month, that's 30 articles. Your vocabulary and understanding grow naturally.
That's true. I think a lot of learners believe they need big study sessions, like 2 hours of grammar, but most people don't have that time.
Exactly, Nikki. That's why I suggest creating what I call English moments. These are short, simple activities that fit easily into your daily life. For example, listening to a podcast while cooking, reading the menu in English when you order food online, or changing your phone language to English.
Oh yes. I actually did that once. I changed my phone to English, and at first I was like, wait, what does settings mean again? But it really helped me learn a lot of words.
That's a fun example, Tony. And Maria, I love your idea of English moments. It sounds like something that helps people keep English alive without feeling tired or bored.
That's exactly the goal. Learning a language is not a race. It's a process. When you make English part of your life, it becomes easier to stay disciplined because it doesn't feel like homework anymore. It feels like something you do naturally.
That's so true. I think that's why many people lose motivation. Because they study too hard at the beginning and get tired fast.
Yes, that happens a lot. I call it the New Year's resolution effect. People start strong, with a lot of energy, and after 2 weeks, they stop. The solution is to start small and grow slowly. I always say, don't run, walk.
That's great advice. So, what's one small thing our listeners can do today to start building that discipline?
Good question. I recommend something very simple. Choose one specific moment in your day to practice English, always the same moment. For example, after breakfast or before sleeping. Then choose one short activity, like listening to this podcast for 10 minutes or writing 3 sentences in a notebook. When you repeat that at the same time every day, your brain starts to expect it, and that's how discipline begins.
Wow, I love that. So it's like training your brain to say, hey, it's English time now.
Exactly, Tony. You're teaching your brain a routine, and little by little, it becomes automatic. One day, you realize that studying English feels as normal as brushing your teeth or having breakfast.
That's a beautiful image, and so true. I remember when I started learning English, I listened to one short story every morning while getting ready for work. After a few weeks, it just became part of my day.
That's perfect, Nikki. And I think another key point is to celebrate small wins. Many students forget that. For example, if today you understood a sentence from a movie, or you used a new word when speaking, that's progress. Write it down or say good job.
I like that. Good job, me. I'm going to start doing that too. It's so important to stay positive.
Definitely. Learning a language is a long journey, and discipline helps you enjoy that journey instead of feeling stressed.
Maria, this is such valuable advice. I think our listeners will really appreciate it. Before we say goodbye, do you have one final piece of advice for people who want to be more disciplined?
Yes. My final advice is this: don't wait for motivation. Create it. Motivation doesn't come before discipline. It comes after. When you see progress, when you feel that you are improving, that's when you feel motivated. So start small, stay constant, and the results will come.
That's powerful. Motivation comes after the effort, not before.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Maria, for joining us today and sharing your experience and wisdom.
Thank you, it was a pleasure. I hope this helps your listeners find their own way to stay disciplined and keep learning.
I'm sure it will. And remember, everyone, just like Maria said, start small, stay constant, and be kind to yourself when learning.
Yes. Discipline doesn't mean being hard on yourself. It means believing in your progress.
Beautifully said. All right, we'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll meet our next guest.
I can't wait to hear that one. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to Learn English with Podcast. So far, we've heard some great stories about being disciplined, but now we have one more guest, and her story is a bit different.
Yes. Our next guest isn't a teacher or a coach. She's someone who works full-time, has a family, and still manages to study English every day. Let's welcome Laura. Hi, Laura. How are you?
Hi, Tony and Nikki. I'm great, thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
We're happy too. Laura, tell our listeners a bit about you. What do you do, and how did your English journey start?
Well, I work as a nurse, and my schedule is crazy. I work nights, weekends, you name it. But 2 years ago, I realized I needed English to grow in my career. At first, I thought, I'll never have time, but then I found small moments every day to practice. 5 minutes before work, 10 minutes during lunch, sometimes while brushing my teeth.
Wow, that's next-level discipline. Brushing your teeth while learning English. That's a pro move.
Yeah, it sounds funny, but it works. I listen to short English podcasts, sometimes even this one, while getting ready for work. I use my time in smart ways.
That's amazing. Many people say, I don't have time, but maybe they just don't use their time well. You're showing that discipline isn't always about big study sessions, but about small actions every day.
Exactly. I also use sticky notes at home. On my fridge, I have one that says open and another that says close. My mirror has one that says smile. It helps me remember vocabulary naturally.
That's such a great idea, visual learning. I remember I used to write English words on my wall too. My mom thought I was going crazy.
I did that too. My bathroom mirror had words like motivation and commitment. My guests probably thought I was giving myself therapy.
I love that. But seriously, those small things help you stay connected to the language. It becomes part of your life.
You're right. It's like building habits. You don't wait for the perfect time. You just do it.
Laura, how do you keep your motivation high on days when you're too tired or busy?
Good question. I remind myself why I started. I imagine myself talking to a patient in English, or traveling without feeling lost. I also keep a small notebook where I write one positive thing about my progress every week. Even if it's small, it keeps me going.
That's powerful. Focusing on progress instead of perfection.
Yes, I love that idea of writing small wins. Sometimes we forget how far we've come.
Totally. Also, I reward myself. After a week of study, I watch a movie in English or eat my favorite dessert. It's my English celebration.
I like that, English and dessert.
I'll start that system today. Me too. Thank you so much, Laura. You just gave us so many practical tips: short study moments, sticky notes, motivation notebooks, and sweet rewards.
You're very welcome. I hope it helps your listeners too. Remember, Being disciplined doesn't mean studying all day. It means not giving up.
Perfectly said, Laura. Thank you for being here with us.
Yes, thank you so much. You've shown us that even the busiest person can make time for English.
So, friends, we've now heard two amazing guests. A teacher, and now Laura, who's a real example of balancing life and learning.
Each story is different, but they all teach us something important. Discipline is not about time, it's about intention.
Exactly. Stay with us, because in our final part, we'll review some vocabulary and expressions we learned today. And explain them with examples.
Yes, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back to wrap it all up. All right, everyone, we're back for our last part of Learn English with Podcast.
Yes. What a great episode today, right? We talked about one of the hardest, but most important, things when learning English, discipline.
Totally. And we heard so many good ideas from our guests. From setting small goals to finding time in your day, even if you're super busy.
Yeah, I loved when Laura said she studies while brushing her teeth. That's real dedication.
I know. And we also learned that discipline doesn't mean being perfect. It means being constant, patient, and keeping your goal clear.
Exactly. So, before we finish, let's make a quick review of some important advice from today. Number 1. Make a small routine. Even 10 minutes of English a day is better than nothing.
Number 2. Remove distractions. Put your phone away when you study.
Number 3. Mix English with your daily life. Listen to songs, podcasts, or short videos while cooking, cleaning, or driving.
Number 4. Reward yourself. Celebrate small wins.
And number 5. Remember your why. Think about your reason to keep learning, even when it's hard.
Those are excellent. And now, before we say goodbye, let's check 5 interesting words we heard today. The first one is resilience. It means the ability to keep going after difficulties, not giving up when things get hard. Example, learning English takes resilience because sometimes progress feels slow.
The second word is focus. It's when your attention stays on one thing. Example, I turn off my phone to focus on my English lesson.
Next, routine. It's a regular way of doing things. Example, having a study routine helps you stay organized.
The fourth word is procrastinate. This one's funny but dangerous. It means delaying something important. Example, I always procrastinate when I have to do grammar exercises.
We all do that sometimes. And the last one is determination. The strong decision to keep going until you reach your goal. Example, with determination, you can learn English no matter your age or level.
Great words. Let's repeat them together. Resilience, focus, routine, procrastinate, determination.
Perfect. If you remember these 5, you'll sound more confident when talking about learning or motivation.
All right, friends, that's the end of today's episode, How to Be More Disciplined Learning English.
We hope you enjoyed it, learned something new, and feel ready to stay consistent with your English goals.
And if you liked this episode, don't forget to give us a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you don't miss our next podcast.
Yes, your support helps us keep creating fun and useful content for English learners around the world.
Thank you for listening. I'm Tony.
And I'm Nikki. See you next time on Learn English with Podcast.